Hello everyone, this is Stephanie. Welcome to another video. So today we're going to work on an earring to go with the Sodalite gemstone station necklace. And when I was trying to figure out an earring to make with this, I really wanted to do a hoop and use the station, but it's just way too big using 11/0s. So I ended up thinking, well, I'll do it in 15/0s and just reduce all the sizes of these beads, which you can do as well. But I was getting a headache using 15/0s, so I scrapped that. If you do that, post it on Facebook and let me know. Many of you have already posted your necklaces and you've done some bracelets. I was asked to do a bracelet, but the bracelet is exactly the same stitch as the necklace, just make it shorter. In fact, you can even make it into a wrap bracelet, which would be really pretty. So I chose these earrings to go with this necklace. These I made a while back, but I didn't make a video for. These have a video, so these are the Astra earrings. So any of these sort of cubic right angle weave pieces will go with the prismatic right angle weave piece. I like a simple earring with this. I tried them on together, they look great. So here, this is the one, I made this one. This is what we're gonna work on today, this color. And I also have some, on the outside of this, I have put 2mm fire polish beads, and it gives it that really pretty sparkle. Oops. And the reason I bring that up is because a viewer commented that they purchased some 2mm Swarovski pearls, and I have never seen a 2mm Swarovski pearl before, so I bought some, and I'm going to give them, I think they would look beautiful right around the edges here, or a 2mm, the 2mm pearl. I have them in white, in what is it, Lapis blue. I have them in 3mm, but you really need a 2mm around the edge. I think that would be really pretty if you want to carry the color over to the earring. All right, so enough said. Let me get a materials list going and we'll get started. I put timestamps down there, so if you don't want to listen to me, you can just skip over. All right, so let's get a materials list going. So you need some 11/0 seed beads. You need a 15/0 or a Charlotte. I'm using a Charlotte, and the Charlotte is a 15/0 check bead, and it has one facet. And I don't know if you can see the facet, but you can see when the light hits it, all of a sudden there's this glint or this sparkle. That's the facet. These are very cool. I love using them when I need it to get a bead in a tight spot. It's used right there. You need some 2mm fire polish beads, and these are the True to faceted fire polish beads. You can use a 2mm drop bead, you can use an 11/0, or, as I was saying, this pearl. So this is that 2mm pearl. Look at that, look at that tiny little pearl. It's so pretty, I love it. I can't wait to use this. And I was so, thank you to the viewer who mentioned these pearls, because I probably wouldn't have tried them. I don't want to mention any names because, I didn't ask. All right, you need a couple of jump rings, and I'm using these little oval jump rings. That's just for my connection right here. Instead of a beaded connection, I used just a jump ring connection. Just worked. A couple of ear wires. I have a size 12 beading needle out here. You can start with a 10 to do the base of the earring, but once we get to the Charlottes or the 15/0s, you're probably going to have to go down to a 12. The holes are so tiny. 8-pound fire line. I'm using black satin. Just a note about the bead tray. The free shipping ends as after May 31st, so the end of this month. So today's the 30th. It's going to end. I don't know if this video will be posted in time for the ending, but I just needed to let you know that. Darlene will be, she said she will be offering a free peyote pattern, however, with every purchase, so you can check that out. All right, so there you go. I'm going to gather up clear the decks, and then we'll get started. See you in a minute. Okay, we're back. So I've switched out my 11/0s for the 3mm fire polish because some of you said of my last video you appreciated me doing the first couple of units using the larger beads because it was easier to see. So I'm happy to do that again. It's much easier to see it. It really is. So I've threaded my needle with about you thread your needle with 5 feet of thread. I'm using a shorter piece. Put on a stop bead and leave enough of a tail to sew in. So I've picked up 4 of my beads. I'm going to drop them down to my stop bead. And then I'm going to sew them into a circle. So I'm sewing up through the first bead after the stop bead. I'm just going to sew around my unit because I want it tight. If you're using 11/0s, I don't really think you have to do this because there's so much, there's a lot of thread in this stitch, so it will hold it together. These big beads, I just want it to be nice and straight so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm just exiting the same exact place I was before I reinforced it. Okay, just like that. Pick up 3 beads, coming out of here, sew through the other side of that bead you were exiting from. Sew through this seed bead, or this bead, and then the side bead. Just putting on right angle weave units right now. Pick up 3, sitting here, sew around the other side of the bead you're coming out of. Sew through this one, and this one. Okay, I'm going to stop there, and then we'll come back and continue. Okay, we're back. So I have my 3 units on, and I'm just going to make it into a cube. So pick up a bead, exiting here, just sew through this one. Just the opposite end. Very easy path right here. Like that. Pick up another one, sew through this one. I'm going to try to keep this open, so I think once you see the thread path, you'll understand how this turns into a cube. So here I've sort of rounded my bottom 3 units a little bit, and I'm just going to pull my beads. But I'm going to hold it with my hand because you can just pull it out of shape if you pull too hard. And when I pull, do you see how it pulls all of the beads into a little unit? Okay, I'm going to stop there because I want you to be able to do that. So practice that a little bit for those of you who are having trouble. Okay, we're back. So we have our cube, and now all we have to do at this point is you have to sew the beads together that aren't connected. So if you look on the sides, you need to have 3 threads, like look in the corner. See, I have 1, 2, so I need a thread there. So I'm just going to turn my unit this way, and I'm going to sew these 4 beads together. So 1, 1 more time. So I have that face sewn together. So you see now I have 3 threads in the corner. So now I have to look around and see if there's another one. So here on the other side, I have to sew these beads together. So in order for me to get there, very simple, just sew through your beads at right angles. So here, I'm exiting here, it's going through this one, and now I'm going to sew these together. So 1, 2, like that. Just like so. So now I have a completed cube. All my beads are sewn together. And I'm going to stop there, just for those of you who need this, and then come back and we'll put on the second unit, and then I will send you off to make your earring. All right, see you in a minute. Okay, so we're exiting here. Let's add another unit on. Let's pick up 3 beads. Exiting here. So around the other side of the bead you're exiting from. You have 1 face of your next cube on. Rotate your piece. Advance your needle through the next bead. Pick up 2 beads. So through this one. And through this one. You have another face of your unit on. And then just advance your needle through the next bead. Pick up 2 beads. Sew through this one. And this bead. You have your next face on. Rotate your piece. Advance through the next bead. Now we just have to complete the cube. We have 3 beads. We just need 1 bead right here. So I'm going to advance my needle through the top bead. Pick up a bead. Sew through this one. Sew through this one. Sew through the top bead. Now I just want to sew these beads together, so I'm just going to go around. One more time. Up we go. So there you go. That's the first 2 units. Now, I hope this was helpful for those of you who are still having trouble with CRAW or PRAW. Very similar. So I was happy to do that. Now, if you're using your 11-Os, or if you're just starting, you're going to put on 20 units. And the way you're going to count is 1, 2. So here, you see these right angle weave faces here? So this is, count this top bead, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on, until you get 20 beads. However, if you want to make it a little bit smaller, you can do that. Notice how this one's bigger. I made this a little smaller. So this has about 24 units. This probably has maybe 28. You can adjust the size of this earring. If you don't want it as a bigger earring, you could make it smaller. So the amount of units you put on really depends on how big you want the earring and how well this will curve. So you're making it kind of straight and then you're going to curve it. So you have to make sure, like see when I push here, it's sort of solid. It's only going to curve so much because of the nature of the stitch. So, you know, just play with it and see what size, you know, works for you. All right, so you can put, if you want to do this one, I have 20 units on here, and then we're going to connect with another unit, another couple of units. And this one, you know, is just a few units larger. All right, so get that done. Meet me back here, and I'll come back with my piece done in 11-Os, and I'll show you how to connect it and do the rest of the beading. All right, see you in a few. Okay, we're back. So here are my 20 units, and the way we're going to do this is we're going to connect in the middle of one of these long sides. So we'll be doing here my 20 units. I'm going to make a turn, and then these 2 ends are going to meet, and we're going to connect here. It's just so much easier to connect here than there. All right, so I was going to use the 11-Os, but I think it's going to be so much easier for those of you who are still, you know, want a little help. Let me back out here for a second. To use the 3mm, and also I took out this my little bead on that board, so it would be easier for you to see. So let's say I have my 20 units on, and here I am exiting this bead, the same bead I would be exiting on the 11-Os. So I want to start going in this direction. So I'm just going to be adding a cube right here. All right, so here I'm exiting this bead. I'm just going to advance my needle through this bead. Now I'm going to start constructing a cube. Pick up 3 beads. I'm going to hold it this way. So I'm going in this direction now. This way. All right, so exiting here. Just going to sew around the bead I'm exiting from. That puts one face on, and then I'm just going to rotate and advance through the next bead. And you'll see that next bead remember, it's this unit here, right here. See? So when I hold it like this, you see that that I'm doing the second face of the cube. Here are the 2 beads we'll be using. So here. So that puts that first face on, rotating and advancing. Pick up 2 beads. So through this one, so that's the top bead of this face here, and this bead here. You'll see it as you're doing it. Really, you are just connecting another cube. Now I have another face of the cube on. I'm going to rotate my piece. I'm going to advance through the next bead. Ah, you just got the worst part, the hardest part done. I'm going to pick up 2 beads. I'm going to make a cube here. I'm going to use these 2 beads. So I'm going to sew through this bead. And this bead. I'm going to rotate and advance. I only need 1 bead here. So I'm going to sew through the side bead to the top bead. Pick up a bead. Sew through this one. Sew through this one. The top bead. I'm going to sew those beads together. Going around. 1, 2, 3, one more time to get that last thread in, and you have made an angle. So you made a corner, and all you're going to do is put on, so you have two more of your right angle weave, cubic right angle weave units, and you know, just like we did before. So now you just did the normal cubic right angle weave. So pick up 3. I'll just get you started. So through this guy, advance, and so on. So pick up 2. I just want to make sure you get it. I hate for anybody to give up. All right, so you're just going to add 2 more units on. So do that, and then come on back, and we'll continue. Okay, we're back. So here is my piece. I'm going to try to do this with 11 O's. Hopefully it will work. I think it will. So at this point, see how we're going to connect right here? So at this point, you really want to make sure that you're not twisted. So notice how my beads are flat, and one face of my cubic right angle weave, so one right angle weave face here, it's all up in the same direction. Like, you don't want to twist it like that. So just make sure that it is all flat so you can connect it properly. All right, so we're exiting this bead. I'm going to try to pull them like super duper tight here. Okay, you're exiting this bead right here. I'm going to pick up a bead and see how we're going to connect this unit to this unit. So exiting here, so through this one. I'll hold it there for a few seconds. Like that. And I'll leave it open so you can see the thread path. Pick up a bead. So back through the one you're originally coming out of. Let me just get it to this point, then I'll move my hand. Okay, so you see that? I'm exiting here, bead, go through this one, put on a bead, go back through the bead I started with. I'm just going to pull. And when I pull, see what that does? It just makes a right angle weave face, the first face of the cube. Now I have to go, I think what I'm going to do here is, just for ease of teaching, I'm just going to sew through this bead. On this bead, I'm just going to go in this direction, like that. And then I'm going to rotate my piece, like that. Now I have these 3 beads, so I'm going to sew through this bead. I'm going to pick up a bead and sew through this bead. And I'm going to sew through this one and up through this one. So I'm just rotating around to get to each edge, and I just went in this direction because I thought it would be easier to do the outside before the inside. So now I have 3 beads right here. 1, 2, 3, to add a bead, go through this one, pick up a bead, sew through this one, I have 4 beads on. Oh, I'm running out of thread. I'm going to sew through this one. Just going around to get to the inside to connect the beads, like that. So when I turn it this way, so see where I'm exiting this bead right here? Just turning it so I see the inside. Now I have to leave it so you can see it. Okay? So all the beads are on. You just have to connect these 4 right here. Right here. 1. So I'll go through this one, and I'll just hold it out like that. Hopefully you can see that. 1, 2. Now I have to kind of go back through to get through 3. 3. Hope you can see that. And 4. And then one more time to get that, connect all the beads like that. So now your piece is connected. And it's all wonky right now. I mean, it actually looks okay, but it's not going to be as straight as when we add all the accent beads, embellishment. So wherever you're exiting, excuse the cat hair, just sew through the next bead, wherever it is. It doesn't matter. We're just going to get to the outside of the unit. So here, I'm going to sew through this one, or wherever. And if you only have a little bit of thread left, just sew your end in, and then we'll add another thread to start the embellishment. All right, so I hope you saw that. I hope you can get that done. So play a little bit and then come on back and we'll start with the embellishment. All right, see you. We're back. So let's start the embellishment. So here's my piece. So if you need to add a new thread, just at about 5 feet, you can probably finish the whole thing in that. And we just want to get to this outside edge, anywhere. If you actually have enough thread left over, wherever you're coming out, you just need to go around a right angle weave unit and exit an outside bead. Okay, so you see where I am on that outside bead. My piece is nice and flat, it's not twisted. I'm just going to add that thread. So I want to use these 2mm pearls. Here are my fire polish, but I'm just so anxious to, I haven't used them yet, so let's see how they work out. Actually, they're kind of tiny. I wonder if a 3mm will fit. So I'm just going to sew, I'm exiting this bead, I'm just going to sew through the next outside bead. No, actually that's perfect, it fits perfectly. And I'm going to do that all the way around. Oh, these are so cute. I love them. You can even do some in pearls, like just do an edge on the bottom in the pearls and then finish the rest. You can do an 11-0 there also. So finish it. So you really can choose anything you like around the edge. I'm just going to continue on simply, but you know, go for it. Just do whatever, you know, whatever you love. But I just think these are beautiful. I feel another order coming on. All right, so I'm not going to do the whole thing with you. Just get up to this top part and then I'll show you how to get around the top and then we'll continue. Okay, so I'm coming up to the top. So I'm just going to sew through them, just sewing through all the beads. On the other one, I left that top bead off. So I'm just, what I think you can do here is maybe you can put a little Charlotte there, or you can even try putting this bead on here. Not sure why I left it off because I made that earring a long time ago. I don't know. Should we put it on? We'll give it a try. That way you'll have your choice in what you want to do with that. Let's see. Does it fit? Just want to make sure it fits nicely up there. Yeah, it does fit. All right. So I'm going to go for it and I'm going to put it through the top. But you can leave that off and just sew through the beads without any thread. I don't know. That looks good. And I'm just going to come all the way down. So you have a couple of options there. So I'm just going to, I'm going to go do the rest of this off camera and then meet me as you get towards the end and then we'll continue. Okay, coming to the end. So I'm just going to put my last pearl on. I'm just going to sew through the next pearl and just a couple of beads. I want to come out on 11-0. So here I'll come out of this one. I'm using that size 12 beading needle. It doesn't want to come out, so I'm just going to go through that, and then I'll sew through an 11-0. There we go. All right, so we are finished with the front, and I love it with the bead on the top, and I love these little pearls. They're so cute. All right, stopping now. So now I want to get to the other side. So I'm exiting an 11-0 right there. I'm just going to use my right angle weave unit to come around to here. So all I have to do is go through this bead and up through this bead. Like that. And now if I turn it over, I'm on this side. So I'll do the 2mm fire polish on this side just because I'm just going to, add all my beads on. All right, so you're just going to do the same thing on this side. Now I'm thinking that maybe this 2mm fire polish might be too big, and that's why I didn't put it up here like I did the pearl. But you'll see if that works for you or not. All right, so come all the way around and then meet me back here and we'll start doing the inside. All right, see you in a few. Okay, coming to the end. So I'm just going to do the same thing I did with the pearls. Just going to sew through a couple of beads, put that last one on. And of course I want to come out of an 11-0. And on this side I did actually put the 3mm fire polish at the top, and I think it looks fine. I mean, it might even look better with that up at the top. I don't know. I'm having a designing moment. All right, so we are exiting one of our 11-0s. I want to get to this face now, so that we want to put a bead right here. So I'm just going to sew through this one. And it doesn't matter which way you go, just want to get them in here. So I'm going to sew through this one just because it's easy for me to sew in this direction. And then here are my little Charlottes. In they go. Okay, so that's what you're going to do. You're going to do that all the way around. And I'm just going to send you off to do the other side as well. So when you're done with this end, you're just going to go all the way around. You're going to put a bead, you're going to sew through your unit again, just like I did on the other side, and put a bead right here at the little Charlotte or 15-0. And then meet me back here and we'll put the clasp on. All right, see you in a few. Okay, we're back. So I've done both inside and out, and then, you're just going to sew through the beads and just, and put a few half-hitch knots in. So let's put the ear hook on. So I think it came out great. I love it with the pearls. I think that's really pretty. And I even like it with the little change with the bead at the top. I really do. I like it better than without the bead. All right, so here are our little jump ring. I already opened this one, so I'll just open this one with you. So here, this is, let me see if I have the bag to this jump ring. Here it is. It's a 5.3mm, I'll put it in the description box, gold-filled 21 gauge oval jump ring, oval open jump ring. So I'm just going to open it up. Like that. Let me see if I can pull in a little bit. All I'm doing is I'm just going to insert one end under that top seed bead. Let's see if it fits with me putting those beads in at the top. Yes. So I'm just going around that seed bead, that 11-0 at the top. So I know it's hard to see. Like that. You can see the two ends of the jump ring right there. And then I'm just going to very gently close it, and then I'm just going to turn it in this direction. So you see that? So that it's in the long direction. So it's just attached around. Make sure you're closed really well. I'm a little bit off. There we go. All right, and then all I'm going to do is, I don't have one of these big ear wires. I like those a little bit better. Actually, what you can do here is just, without even opening it, you can, because it's slightly open, just take your earring, pop it through like that. Should fit. If it doesn't, just open this a little bit. Looks like that. And then just pop that on, like that. That was a roundabout. And then just close it up. Use your other pliers. It was a tiny bit, so I'm just going to do it that way. And there it is. There's your earring. Cute. Sew in all your threads. You can reverse this if you like. You just have to take the ear wire off. So that's it. So that's your earring. I will just look at the pair that's all correct first. There you go. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Here's a necklace. I love these two together. Great summer pieces. Like I said, you can make a bracelet. You can, do anything you like with it. So I want to thank you so much for joining me, and I will definitely see you on the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.